Hi everybody, welcome back. Now today I'm going to be talking to you about cleaning caravans. Now specifically I'm going to show you some products which are new here in the UK. Now these products have been around for some time on the continent, but they're fairly new and unheard of here in the UK. Now I'm going to answer some specific points of specific questions which are usually asked about cleaning caravans. One of those is how to remove black streaks. Another one is how to protect your caravan over winter. So let me show you some of the products which are available from Mellerud, and I'll show you how we go about cleaning the caravan. Let's start off at the front here. We've got ourselves a resin and insect remover, our black streak remover, we'll come back to this in a minute, and we've got a motorhome and caravan polish. Now at the back in the big bottles, we'll bring those forward for you. We've got a shampoo, we've got a motorhome and caravan shield, and we've got a heavy duty cleaner. So first of all, let's set the shampoo up and get going cleaning the caravan. Okay, so the instructions are fairly clear. Add half a cup to 10 litres of water. Right, here we are then, we're at the back of the caravan. Now I'm going to use the back of the caravan because it's the one part of the caravan that always gets filthy. When we leave it in storage, we always leave the caravan with the nose up, the back down, so that all the water comes off the back. As such, the back always gets filthy. So the very first thing I'm going to do before I start to clean the caravan is I'm going to get it wet, and I'm using a pump sprayer for that, and all I'm going to do is get it wet to pull off any grit or any particles, just to get it to run off the back of the caravan. So let's prime the pump sprayer and let's just swill off the back of the caravan, and then I think we'll make a start and look at those black streaks. Now this pump sprayer, believe it or not, is as old as we've had the caravan. So we've had this for 3 years now, and I bought these online, and they are really useful, especially if you don't have any water like what we don't here in the storage unit. Now typically we use 2 of these, and these are 10 litre bottles, and that's as much water as we would need to clean the entire caravan. So this is just water that I'm spraying onto the van here at the moment, and trying not to get myself, the camera or anything else wet. I'm literally just spraying it on just to get the back of the caravan wet. So now that we've got this wet, let's make a start and have a look at some of the black streaks. So we're going to be using this stuff, and we're going to use this before we start to clean the actual caravan. Now, as I said, the back of the caravan is always filthy because we leave it front up, back down, so everything comes off the roof. And I've used many black streak removers in my time, but having a test go with this, I think we got it licked. So let me show you the problem, and I'll show you this in action. Right, let me show you what we've got here then. So we've swilled it all down, and I don't know if you can see this, but there is plenty of black streaks running down here, and even though I'm rubbing them, they're not really coming off. Sure, the top layer of dirt is coming off, but they're not really coming off that much. And there's plenty of black streaks down here as well. So the black streak remover that we're going to use is really straightforward. I've just got myself a microfiber cloth here. I'm going to spray it onto the cloth, and let's just wipe in and see if we can get rid of some of this black streak around here. I think I need a bit more. Like so. Now, there's areas in here which you may not be able to see, and I can't get in there with my cloth. So there's a trick to that. I'm using a clean paintbrush, and all I'm going to do is spray some of the black streak remover onto the brush, and I'm going to attack into the corners here like so. And again around the edges where you can't get a cloth into. Right, we've left it for a couple of minutes now, and all I'm going to do is just swill it off, and we'll just see what difference it's made. Well, I can immediately tell you it actually has removed quite a lot of the black streaks. Okay, there's a couple of spots here which I need to go over again. You may not be able to see it because it's very faint to me, but just here there's one or two which are quite faint. I'll just need to go over those again. But actually that's looking really good. Now, for areas like this, you can see there's quite a lot of green around these lights here. And it doesn't matter how much I try and clean it off, it's just not going to come out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the black streak remover and the paintbrush again, and I'm going to really get in there and see if I can get rid of that green. And then we're just going to agitate it with the brush again, getting in there. Just blast that off now. Let's see what it's looking like. Again, lots of black bits coming out. Seems to be doing well though. That's pretty good. That's very good. Now in terms of cleaning products, this is what I tend to use here. This is basically a bubble mat, and as you can see it's very soft on one side and it's quite bubbly on the other. Now I use this as opposed to a brush because you can feel what you're cleaning and you can feel whether there's any grit or anything that you're pushing around. If you're using a brush, you're not going to be able to feel much grit, so I tend to use the hand motion, plus also you get to feel all the nooks and crannies as well of your Caravan, so you can get to understand if there's any areas that you need to clean better. Right, so what I've done now is I've just washed the van down and I've just run over it with water as well, just to pull the last of the chemicals off, and then using a microfiber cloth again I'm just wiping everything down just to dry it off. Let it dry for a few minutes and then we'll start with the next layer. Gives me a chance to go and get myself a drink as well. Right, with the back panel now clean, it's now time to move on to the next step, and this is the motorhome and caravan shield. What this is going to do is going to repel water. It's not a polish, it's not a wax, it's basically a shield which is going to repel water off of our Caravan. So we're not going to encourage any damp or any water ingress into the Caravan. Perfect if you're wanting to put your Caravan to bed over the winter months. This stuff will come in very useful. So the instructions are dead easy. Basically all we're going to do, apply it to a thin cloth, rub it over the surface, leave it for a short time, buff it to a shine, and then after about 15 minutes it will then be able to repel water. So we'll give that a test as well after I've put this on. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to concentrate in this corner here, which is the handrail and the lights, etc., because there's complicated curves down here. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus on that area, and hopefully you can see the difference of before and after. So let's put it on a cloth. Again, I'm using more lint-free microfiber cloths. If you ever do decide to come out clean your Caravan, have a lot of these ready. They're very inexpensive, you can get them pretty much anywhere, and the great thing is that you can stick them into the washing machine and the tumble dryer, so nice and clean, ready for next time. So I've got two more. I'm going to use the red one to put it on with and the blue one to take it off. So it's fairly runny, which is going to be good. It means that we're going to be able to rub it into a lot of the places. Right, so let's leave that for a short time, as they say in the instructions, and come back and buff it off. Right, I've left it about 15 minutes now, so we're going to do a test in a minute. We're going to see if it actually repels any water. But let me give you some thoughts on this at the moment. It doesn't feel like it's a silicone-based product. You know that feeling you get when you're playing with polishes and cleaners, etc. It feels a little bit, you know, horrible on your hands. No, it doesn't feel like this at the moment. I don't know if it has got silicone in it. Probably it has because of what it does, but it doesn't feel nasty to the hands. The other thing as well is that it's quite difficult to see putting on, but once it dries off, it sort of greys off a little bit. So make sure that when you're doing this, it's fairly cloudy, you're not in bright sunlight, so that you can actually see where you're buffing off, etc. Bit of a challenge, but be methodical and there shouldn't be a problem. Right, so without further ado, let's see if this actually works. It's a very difficult thing, you know, trying to show off the results of a cleaning product on a white box on film. But I think you can probably see the results really do speak for themselves. The back of our Caravan has got a nice colour to it, it's got a nice sheen, it's nice and clean. The black streaks that we always suffer from, they've gone. There's a couple of very stubborn ones, which we've always had, to be honest with you. Since the day we bought the Caravan, we've always had them. But generally speaking, it's nice and clean. So would I recommend these products to you? Absolutely. I think they're pretty good, in fact. Have a good look for them. The shampoo is really nice. It's managed to clean off and pull out a lot of muck, and it's left everything nice and clean. After I finished cleaning it, it did seem to have some sort of water repellent properties to it. I did notice that it had sort of a waxy feel to it. The black streak remover, absolutely incredible. This is the one that's going to do the work for me in future. I've used lots of black streak products from different manufacturers over the past few years. This one here is the one that's done the job. It's pulled everything out. Now, as for the motorhome and caravan shield, well, would I recommend it? It's done its job. I was quite surprised, in fact. I thought it was just going to be like a polish or a wax or a, you know, some sort of silicone based product that you wipe on, creates some sort of barrier, and then just repels water off the top of it. It doesn't feel like a silicone based product, I'll be honest with you. I put it on, a bit difficult to put on, a bit difficult to see, but once it was on, and it went dull, I was able to buff it off, no problems at all. And this is being really, really good. I've obviously done a demonstration with it to show you the water repelling off. It's pretty good, isn't it? That's going to be great for people who decide to winterize their caravans. And in fact, I'm probably going to put it on anyway, regardless of whether we put the caravan to bed or not. It just means that the cleaning won't be as frantic as what it normally does. Now, right at the beginning of this video, I said that there was other products as well, and indeed there is. There's polishes and there's deep cleaners and there's lots of other products, and I'm going to cover those products off in a separate video. But I think for now, the black streak remover and the shield, I think, is enough for you to see how good the product base actually is. Now, links to all these products are down below. Have a look at them, see what you think of them. I'm pretty happy with them, to be honest with you. I think they've done a great job here on the back panel. I wanted to only focus on the back panel today because it's the one side of the Caravan which is the filthiest, to be absolutely honest with you. And I think it's given a damn good go at that. So that's it from me today. Any thoughts, any comments, feel free to put them down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care now. Bye-bye.